In this video for Irish Exchequer Live, we're going to demonstrate the role of the approver. So in the first instance, I'm going to log in as the approver Simon. So once I've logged into Exchequer Live, go straight to the menu and select the timesheets and expenses. And as we've seen in previous videos, depending on the role configuration that's been set up for a particular user will determine what panels are available. In this instance, the approver Simon has the ability to add new timesheets and new expenses, compute historical expenses and timesheets, but also has two new panels, one being the approval panel and this one here being the KPI panel. So in this instance, the approver Simon is particularly interested in a cost center of SN1, and we can see that we've got a visual indication as to the status of that project, and also we can switch that from a visual indication to text. Let's open up the approval panel. So this is a list of all the expenses that have been sent through to Simon for approval. So I'm going to do a quick ascending sort on the transaction reference, and then what I'm going to do is open up that transaction, because before I approve it I want to be able to see what's been put through on the claim to make sure I'm happy with that. So we can see the transactions previously entered, so that's fine. We can close that away. And with that particular expense highlighted, we can click the approve button. I'll pop the little narration box there and I can type in a message. In this case I'll just put approved by Simon. If that's okay, we'll say okay, and that'll now send the transaction on for further approval. So that's gone now, it's been removed from the list. So what I shall now do is come out of this approvals panel and click on the iris to go to home, and what I'm now going to do is log out of Irish Exchequer Live as the approver Simon and re-log in as the approver Paul. So in the username and password and log in, and again straight off up to the menu button. And here we'll see another configuration, and in this case the approver Paul is only been set up to approve transactions and to have access to the KPI panel. And as you can see, there's quite a number of projects and items that this approver Paul is responsible for, and we've got the same option there, switching between text and the visual indicator. Let's open up the approvals panel, and you can see there's two sections here, one for timesheets and one for expenses. And we're going to carry on with the expense claim, which we've just previously approved by Simon. There's a two-stage process there. So we open up that transaction. So here's the expense claim again. If we go down to the status icon, we can see there that this has already been approved by Simon by the green tick, and it's awaiting further action by Paul. So as before, we'll have that highlighted. We'll click on the approve button. Up comes the narration box, and inside there we can type our notes, in this case approved by Paul. So that's done, we can say OK, and as before that transaction will now be approved and sent back to, in this case, to the user Kevin. So we'll click on the home, and now finally what we'll do, we'll log out of Irish Exchequer Live and then we'll log back in as the user Kevin, where it all started with the expense claim. So we'll log in and off to the menu, timesheets and expenses. So now we have here is the panels set up for Kevin of new timesheets, expenses and historical. And let's expand on the expenses. And what we'll do now, we'll take advantage of the filter option. So we'll click on the filter, and what we're going to do is look for the timesheets and expenses that have been approved. So we'll select approvals there and select apply filter. So here we have a list of all expenses that have been approved. Do a quick sort, and we can open up the expense claim. It now has a status of approved. So with that opened, we can check who actually has indeed done the approvals, and you can see there that Paul and Simon have both approved this expense claim. And we're now in a position to carry on with our day-to-day activities. So there you have the roles of the approvers in Irish Exchequer Live.